Barbados, get up.
Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
And a terrific Thursday morning greeting to all of you. Welcome to today, Thursday, the 23rd of April, 2026. Good morning to you, wherever you are. Thank you for waking up to keep us company. We're privileged to have you keep us company indeed, so thank you for doing so. I'm Pearson Bowen, welcoming you to what we call here at the CBC Q Day, what we call all over this nation Q Day. It's Thursday. To those of you joining us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, cbc.bb, a very special good morning to each of you. Share the show, share the love. We thank you for doing so every single day. And as you have your conversations between yourselves, then also have conversations with us. We love to read your comments as you engage in what we present to you. We share with you every weekday morning, Monday to Friday from 6. And of course, I encourage you always, if you know of something that has to be told or someone whose story has to be so inspiring that you believe we should talk about it, tell us about it. Point us in the direction in which we should go. And you do so simply by sending us an email. The email address is right there on your screen. It's morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Communicate with us there, and we will be happy to follow up on your suggestions. So thank you for doing so as well. Now, we did tell you before about the Barbados contingent of young brilliant minds who are competing in what they're calling the VEX robotic competition abroad. And so we have some good news to share with you this morning. We actually do. And so let's take a look at those who are representing Barbados. And there you are. You see them on the screen. They're assembled in that hall, and they're conducting interviews, and they're rubbing shoulders with those who are just like them, who are into creating new things to make life a whole lot different indeed. And so that's the Barbados contingent, those young ones. And then they were challenged at a competition. And I want to share with you that competition as well. There are note the colors that they're wearing. They're on the blue team. And look and see how that all ended.
Blues taking the bonus. No win point, continuing the match. 3, 2, 1. And now I'm no longer surrounded by head refs. That makes me so happy. Speaking of happiness, we have amazing teams here at Worlds 2026. Let me introduce these ones to you. On the Blue Alliance from Barbados, we have Gears in Bots 246. Although there is not tons of movement from Bobby and Sabi, it looks like they might be having some technical difficulties. 15 seconds left on the clock. Blue Alliance now has 7 blocks scored. Red Alliance has 1. Only 8 seconds left on the clock. Looks like they're going for some parking. 2, 1, and that's it. The round is over. Great job, teams. Great job. Looks like Blue Alliance might got a park in there at the last few seconds.
Yep. We won. We won. And indeed, congratulations to the Barbados team who are off at the VEX Robotics Championships in China, I think it is. And so congratulations. Indeed, you've made a really great start. We'll continue monitoring their progress through that competition as well. And of course, be sharing the great news with you as we get it, indeed, coming out of that competition there. It being Q in the community today, where are we headed? We're headed to the Cricket Legends on Fontebelle. That's where Q in the community is, the Cricket Legends of Barbados on Fontebelle for today's edition of Q in the Community. It starts at 11 this morning and it goes until tomorrow morning, until you say when, literally. And of course, we want to encourage you to come on down in your numbers to the Cricket Legends of Barbados on Fontebelle to be a part of that social experiment that is so riveting for many. Dancing, singing, karaoke, eating, drinking, socializing, all of that, all in one package this Thursday morning, this Thursday into the evening at the Cricket Legends of Barbados. Remember, the broadcast on radio starts at 12 noon, and you take the bus from gate number 1 of the Granville-Williams Terminal. Gate number 1, the Granville-Williams Terminal, and you make your way down to Fontebelle to be a part of it. Of course, you can take your walk if you choose to do so as well. That's one activity today. Then in the evening, you are invited to come over to Golden Square Freedom Park for the National Prayer and Worship Session as the interdenominations of Barbados come together as one in Golden Square Freedom Park to pray and to worship. And of course, you know the reason. We shared it with you yesterday. So as much as you can, you make your way to Golden Square Freedom Park for 6:30 this evening to be a part of that movement of prayer and worship for Barbados. There's a lot to get to today, actually. Coming up, we'll continue our recognition of those in our library services, and libraries are everywhere. And so we want to continue recognizing the contributions of our librarians as they continue their movement towards educating and informing a nation. Today, we meet a father who is raising a daughter who is autistic. We want to know how he found out, first of all, what were the early signs and how is he coping today. It's ahead of a big activity coming up on National Heroes Day. We shall also share that with you. This morning we promise you we shall immerse ourselves in the many blends of Colombian coffee. There's an activity just for you. And so this morning the Embassy of Colombia will sit with us along with some who are shared the story of what the industry known as cocoa and coffee in Colombia, the country of beauty, means. They'll tell their stories to us this morning. We'll also be sharing with you about a film, an award-winning film looking at the Cuban-Palestinian struggle. It's free to all, and we'll give you details about where it is, when it is, and how you can be a part of it. International Jazz Day is coming up very, very soon, and there's an activity happening to which you should be invited, and we really want you to turn up to as well. So we'll tell you about that, and we'll continue talking to some very young, inspiring people who've taken the challenge put on by the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation to take $20 and make much out of it. They have stories of inspiration to share with you today, and so stick around. We'll tell you more right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We the best music.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station. 98.1 The One.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
This is where Barbadian football lives. Every Monday from 8:03 p.m., step onto the touchline. A 30-minute show featuring the BFA Premier League. Join Anmar Goodrich Boyce and Damian Best as they review the action. the goal.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 11 minutes after 6 o'clock now this Thursday morning. I'm smiling because it's always interesting when one walks into any library to engage with librarians, people who can help to guide you and to show you some of the possibilities you just did not imagine. And that's what we've been doing all week. This week here on Morning Barbados is National Library Week, and so we've been exploring libraries or repository of knowledge all over this island in so many interesting spaces as well. And so we're heading this morning into the Sidney Martin Library of the University of the West Indies at Cave Hill, and we're joined this morning by a scholarly communications specialist in Beverly Wood and also in an information literacy librarian. And you know, you're asking yourself, what was all of that about? We'll tell you in a moment. In Dr. Richard Rogers. Good morning to both of you. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you.
First of all, thank you for the work that you do. You help to shape a nation, to grow nations, because you're in the University of the West Indies, so many people with whom you engage. But it helps us also to stand strong on the knowledge that we have and to show up in the world as people with educated minds. And so first of all, thank you for all of that. What is it that you do as a scholarly communications?
Well, as scholarly communications librarian, I am responsible for helping persons, could be students, could be staff in general, whether academic, administrative or professional, helping staff and students to move from the idea of a publication right through the ecosystem to the actual publication and then measuring the impact thereof, that publication.
Who knew that that was in the library service broadly? Is this new, or has this always been?
It has always been, however, there is a greater focus on it these years, in the past, let's say 20 years or so, and within the Caribbean, within the last, say, 10 years or so.
So many people across the region are writing now, this, which is exciting, I'm sure, for where you work. It's exciting for me, the consumer, because now we get to read text from with our voice,
yes,
and from our lived experience as well. And so the process from the idea to publication and then repository, that's a journey a lot of people are not prepared to take at times because they feel it takes too long. There's so much to do, but it's important.
It is important, and good writing takes time, because you need to be mindful not only of your idea and it being your idea, but you need to be able to translate that idea and transmit it to others so that they understand what you're saying, that they appreciate what you're saying, and that they commit to what you're saying. And that's important, especially if you are doing research.
So where you sit in the Sidney Martin Library at the University of West Indies at Cave Hill, do you see a lot of people using your services?
In an indirect way, we tend to more go to the community rather than the community coming to us. We do that through a number of workshops, through a number of presentations, through webinars, and so on. And of course, there are persons who, walking through the library, may ask a question, and we take the opportunity to explain and to advertise our services then. Because a lot of the work that is done by the students, you encourage them to publish. Don't just simply complete your degree program. Publish your work as much as possible. And so I'm excited about what you do. This is fantastic. And is the work that you do accessible? I know you go to your communities in the campus as well, but whatever is published, is it accessible to the general public that we can come into the Sidney Martin Library and browse? It depends upon where it is published and how it is published. And actually, this evening, we're having a webinar discussion on understanding publication rights and agreements. And the publication right that you sign off on, the agreement that you have with the publisher, determines how your material is treated, whether we're able to have a copy at the library, whether you can share it widely with the whole world, or whether the publisher just has all rights. And we had a situation some years ago when an older staff member wanted to get a copy of their publication, and they could not find their copy. They sent to the library for a copy. Unfortunately, that was behind a paywall, which we did not have, a paywall publication, which we did not have access to. So we had to go outside of the library in order to get a copy for them. And that's what we are saying when we talk about publication agreements and publication rights. What are you signing off to when you say to the publisher, publish this this paper, publish this book? And
that's why this webinar is so important. Dr. Rogers?
I'll just add to that, because there is a growing movement of open access. So when she talked about the amount of rights that you will have once you start signing off, you have to be also mindful of who you publish with, because that allows the opportunity for you to retain some of those rights and to actually allow people to access your work free at point of access.
And that's so important. We see it in the music industry. We've heard of all of the bassa that happens in terms of owning your rights, and how some publishers say, I own this for so long, and you have to purchase those rights to get out of that arrangement. And so it's important to get to know more in this webinar this evening. What time?
It is online from 6 to 8 p.m. this evening, and we have an exciting lineup for you. We actually have a publisher in Miss Christine Randall from UE Press. We have an editor from a regional journal, Tropical Agriculture. We have a librarian, a law librarian as well. Of course, we have a university director for the Institute for Gender and Development Studies. We always need to be mindful of that, the gender issues relating to publishing and who's publishing. And we have a professor emerita who is an outstanding writer as well. They will all be there, and the program will be moderated by another lawyer who teaches IP at the campus. But our featured address will be given by one of the most prominent IP lawyers in Barbados, intellectual property lawyers in Barbados, Mrs. Fiona Hines-Lafont.
Okay.
And I should say, I should say that our panelists are from throughout the region and not just Barbados.
Because they all have different experiences, and the laws are slightly different in some territories as well. So it's to find that consensus so we all know at the end of it all. It's happening online. For more, you can go to the website.
Yes.
The UE's website.
The UE's website, the Campus Library's Facebook page has it, and it's also on the campus Facebook page as well. Right. So just be sure to register in advance.
Yes, indeed so. So all of you writers and budding writers, it's important that you show up for this webinar this evening. It's important to show up for the webinar this evening. Dr. Rogers, you are an information literacy librarian. When we think of information literacy, we think oftentimes of how we engage with online technologies and so forth alone. But it's more than just that. What is it that you do? And help us understand how we can engage with you.
So on the other side of the publication process is the knowledge creation process, and how you start from idea, or let's say a research question, to get to the point of producing a work of your own using the works of others. So to get there, and this happens in the classroom usually with an assignment. It starts with an assignment, and at the undergrad level, even at the secondary school level, it starts with a question, an assignment brief, and to translate that assignment brief into, let's say, a concept map, so that you can decide what's the scope of your topic, and then to move from the scope of your topic to what resources do I need to basically help me with that topic, and then to move from what resources do I need, where do I find those resources, and how do I go about searching for those resources. And then once you get the resource or the source of evidence or information to answer your research question, well, the next question is, how do I use it? What do I do with it when I get it? Matters, questions of academic integrity. How do I use somebody else's work to form or create knowledge of my own? And then how do I produce that final product? How do I make that product into a work that is mine, but that stands on the shoulders of giants, according to Google, of course. So what we do, well, we help you simply to respond to your own information need. We help you to locate and find the stuff that you need, the sources that you need to help you address your information need. And we teach you how to use those sources responsibly and ethically.
You don't answer all my questions for me, do you? I don't come and say, listen, I'm focusing on plant leaves. Go. And then you bring it all back to me. You train the mind to be able to search for oneself, but in doing that to understand all of the road signs as you go, and the road blocks as you go, the
we
things
like
that you
to
need
think
to be
of
mindful
ourselves as the guide on the side.
Yes.
So we just activate you and let you fly after that.
You build such wonderful stories. Activate you
and that's
wind
why
you up
we're
and
in
then
libraries.
go.
There's so many stories in libraries, whether they are in print, whether they're in visuals, because we have an AV library, and that has a whole set of photographs and remember the viewfinders?
Yes.
We have some of those reels as well. So those stories are in written form, they're in oral form, they're in visual form, and you need to know how to manage those, when to access them, how to attribute to when you're using them, so that you don't fall into plagiarism.
That's right. That's right.
And that's very, very important.
We don't even use that word anymore. We call it academic misconduct.
Oh, yes.
And we try to steer you away from academic misconduct.
Yeah. Oh, I feel so much safer now. So that's what happens in the Sidney Martin Library. And this is what you do day in, day out. I know that you serve the community on campus primarily, but you mentioned secondary schools can also access.
Yes, we have not just secondary schools. What we have, and this is part of our library week, what we have been doing is reaching out. This is part of our public service responsibility, both to the university and to our wider public. What we do is we actually go out. Our campus librarian is particularly conscious of the young minds and how we help them navigate the information space, just as much as we help our adult minds navigate that space. So we have an outreach program. I think Good Shepherd is one of the schools that has been targeted.
St. Bernard's is another.
St. Bernard's is another tomorrow. So I think it's both primary and secondary. I actually am tasked with a project to reach out, hopefully during this year and by July, to the secondary schools, as well as even those in the public space. Now you have people who are may not be in the traditional school setup, and they may be in the public library space. So I've sort of forged some links with one of the aspiring public librarians, so that, and she's indicated that she'll reach out to me just in the case that she would need some support on her end with the general public.
This is fantastic. This is truly fun. And this is so inspiring, isn't it, everybody? That now all of this we know, now we know where to go. And that's important. And so remind us quickly of this evening's webinar.
This evening's webinar is titled Understanding Publication Rights and Agreements, and it's in recognition of World Book and Copyright Day, which is today.
Yes.
And it starts at 6 p.m. and it goes for 2 hours. It's online, so you can find the link to pre-register on the library's Facebook page, on the University of the West Indies Cave Hill Campus's Facebook page, and on our website.
And we're showing you right there, if you take a look at your screen, everybody, just where you can, what you'll be engaging with when you go online, all of that. You find your joy, but you find your space as well in the webinar this evening, beginning at 6 o'clock. Today is Thursday. For pre-registration, click that link once you're there on that site, and wow, you're in right there. But show up, and you don't have to be the author already. You just have an idea. You're just
Yes.
curious as to how to even start. This webinar helps you because this knowledge holds us accountable. Knowledge also empowers us. Thank you both for
Thank
joining
you.
us this morning.
Thank
Really
you
so
too
much.
for having
You are
us.
very
It's been a
welcome.
pleasure.
Thank you for encouraging us.
You're very welcome indeed. Beverly Wood and Dr. Richard Rogers of the Sidney Martin Library on the campus of KPhil at University of the West Indies, and I encourage all of you now to access the information and be receptive to the information given to you as well, because it empowers. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
too.
you.
We're back with more on Morning Barbados in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
This is where Barbadian football lives. Every Monday from 8:03 p.m., step onto the touchline. A 30-minute show featuring the BFA Premier League. Join Anmar Goodrich-Boyce and Damien Best as they review the action, the goals, the grit, the glory, and the stories shaping the league. From kickoff to the final whistle, this is your front row seat to Monday Night Football. Touchline, bringing you closer to the BFA Premier League. See you on the touchline, live on TV8.
Touchline, sponsored by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after. And Powerade. Pause is power.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good, your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station. 98.1 The One.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker,
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Well, as you know, in my book, people with autism are more than special. They are super. This morning, we meet a man who is a father of a daughter of autism, and so his name is Amory Holder. We know him familiarly as Spinny. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How old is your daughter now?
She's 10.
She's 10 years old.
Yeah.
What level on the spectrum is she?
I personally don't know how to gauge where I would say she's at, because she's extremely smart, but she's also nonverbal. So sometimes, because she cannot speak, people would think that she can't understand, but she follows all the instructions. She's brilliant.
How did you know she was autistic?
Our doctor, Su Peng Chow, she noticed that she wasn't responding to her name, and her hearing is perfect. So her name is Maya. So we'd be like, Maya, Maya, Maya. She would not respond. But let's say something dropped, she would take a sudden look. So the doctor was like, yo, this is an early sign of, this is not correct. She's supposed to be answering to her name already. Her hearing is perfect. You guys should get that checked out.
But did not concern you as the parents, like, I'm calling you, Maya, can't you hear me? But she would respond to other stimuli, but for this one, she just wasn't responding to her name. Did that not concern you?
It didn't concern me because that is my only child. I've never had a child before. But even when her mom was looking to go and do the tests and stuff like that, me, as a person that never knew about autism, in my mind is like, maybe she would do things on her own time. Maybe she isn't ready as yet. But her mom was heavily concerned, and
Right. So the mother took the initiative and said, "Let me have this tested."
Yeah.
Were you part of the testing, or I'm asking because I want to know what happened. How do you test for autism?
I was not there for that. Her mom took her to the, I cannot remember the lady's
That's all right.
name
That's okay.
that did the test. But when the results came back and we were told she's on the spectrum, that was literally the first time that I ever heard about autism. And from there, my mind started to wonder, like, how have I not ever heard of this thing? How have I never met someone who is autistic? Because I should have actually met one or two people before, but maybe I was meeting people but had no idea.
When you got the news, though, your child has a condition known as autism.
Yeah.
Did it feel like a sentence on you?
Yeah, I felt really bad. Family took it bad also. But I am not the type of person that lie down and plays dead. So what I did, I started, again, because I was so curious about how I never met anyone like this, how I don't know anything about this, I started to do some reading. I like to advise these 2 books, 10 things every autistic child wish you knew about them, and the reasons why I jumped. And when I started to read those books, it felt like the person was talking exactly about my daughter and the process, and then it caused me to start to understand why they do certain things. Because even when she would have started therapy at first, therapy would have been like, you're making her play and do certain stuff. So I was like, yo, but why we playing? I thought we come for therapy. But then from reading the books, it shows how much we learn stuff through play as children without even realizing we learning stuff. So one of the first things that they had to do was, before, my daughter would never look you directly in the eyes. So the play now creates that joint attention, and unless we have joint attention, there's nothing I can teach you. So imagine me trying to teach you, well, pick up the ball, but when I try to speak to you, you're never looking at me. So it's to create that playful environment, to find things that she like to do to get her attention, to start teaching her stuff.
Yeah, the lack of eye contact is a clue. It's a clue early o'clock that you need to also pay attention to parents. And so you've learned how to communicate with her now. You understand her communication cues so that you have that relationship. But there are other sides to autism that a lot of people have some concern with. Is she exhibiting signs that concern you?
I wouldn't say concerning. My biggest fear is, or what was my biggest fear, was when she becomes an adult, will she be able to function in society? Will people look to take advantage of her and stuff like that? So for me, my main goal is to get her to the stage where she becomes an adult, she can have a regular job, she can function, everything.
And so far, she seems to be on that trajectory to be functional. She can handle herself.
Yeah, so another thing that we've noticed, like, she does things in her time. So let me say if the milestone for X is when you reach 4 years old, she might not be there at 4. But then one day we would just realize she doing this stuff. Like, when did she make that transaction to start doing that? So it just keep putting in the work. It is very challenging because you have to change your whole life for it. Like, her mom can't do a normal 9 to 5 because there are not much people who can handle a child on the spectrum. So she always have to be like on call in case something happens.
I know exactly what you mean. So I understand your life becomes different.
Yeah.
But your life can also become beautifully different. You talked about how smart she is.
Yeah.
Autistic people are brilliant
Yeah.
beyond imagination. So she surprises you all the time with what she knows at 10.
The thing is, like, I like to try to understand everything, and even trying to understand why are they so good at certain things. But when they like something, they become obsessed with it. They pick it apart, they do it, they turn it upside down. So no one understands that like them. So if you go and tell her, yo, this is X, she'll be like, no.
That's right.
This is X. No, and then she will show you exactly what it is.
They have such a photographic memory.
Yeah.
She's so funny.
She remembers everything. By the time we leave home and we say we're going to X or we're going to Y, she would point that way, that way. Or even things like, she's know what day of the week it is. So let me say she has speech therapy. She's going to bring her sketch pad. And if for that particular morning we don't do speech therapy, she'd be like, no, sketch pad.
Yes.
Be like, no, we're not going to speech today. Yeah.
and I'm saying living with a child with autism is a journey. I know it's a journey because you have to respect the child's individuality, and as a parent, a caregiver, you have to be responsive to that individuality and not enforce yours on them. So walking moment by moment with them and responding to how they move. That's what you're required to do now. But at the same time, to celebrate their brilliance is what's important. And to have a community of people who also work with you in celebrating their difference and their brilliance is what is required. How challenging has it been? Because she has friends, and there are people in the neighborhood who think that she's kind of standoffish simply because she doesn't understand that social cue, those social cues. How interesting is that experience for you?
Luckily enough, even sometimes I say to myself, I am blessed with her because I believe I am equipped to handle her. I am one that never really check for validation from others. But you could see with the classes where people would say, this man was doing fitness wrong, and see where he took it. So people thinking off, I would then just look to educate them on what the situation is, or simply don't care about your opinion, because I know that you do not fully understand what's happening. So you have to be strong. Everyone is not like that. And that is where Autism Association comes into play, where they create a community where you can meet persons that go through the same experiences as you, because at the end of the day, a person cannot empathize with you, show empathy if they don't understand what's going on. So when you sit with those persons, you get to realize, yo, this is not
me alone,
unique to me. This happens to X, this happens to Y, and coming together, then you can find solutions, you can find the best way forward. I might be at a stumbling block, but someone might have been there before and they would be able to suggest, well, this worked for me, and then I could go and try it. And
Mind you, every autistic child is different, but nevertheless, there are different things we can all share together to help ease the burden. So much so, your lack of knowledge might lead you to following the Autism Association of Barbados. Follow them on socials and get to know more about what autism is. And so in raising awareness about it, coming up on National Heroes Day, bright and early, there is an awareness walk to be followed by Spinny with This Cool Down Fair. And that walk starts at 6:30 bright and early in the morning, 6:30 bright and early on Colombian Road. Look at your screens, everybody. Look at your screens. It starts at the Social Empowerment Agency, which was formerly the National Disabilities Unit. That's where we started last year. Starting the same place again this year at 6:30 for the walk. But you need to register. Registration information is also right there. And with registration, you get a shirt, whether you are the child or the adult, and water as well. So all of that is part of registration, but you get to spend a day at an activity, a cool down fair that follows right after the walk, and that is where you, Spinny, come in as well, because again, in cooling down, you ease the muscles of the pain you would have had in the walk.
Last year it was beautiful. When you get back, they have the playing area for the children, you get to meet therapists, you get to speak to private schools, so you can have an idea of where you can let to go, what you can let to do. You get to mingle again with the community as well. And it is not only for persons on the spectrum, it is to bring awareness. So we're encouraging every single person to come out. And then after all of that, we do a nice inclusive session with myself, and last, like, the children touch the floor. Like, it was amazing to see. I was like, I'm gonna need a job soon, because, you know,
they're taking over.
Yeah,
indeed. So show up, everybody, show up. But you need to register as soon as possible. You can also register on the morning. The walk starts at 6:30, bright and early in the morning before it gets too hot in the day. So you get out there, you do the walk. Once you go on their socials, you will get to know the route. And I encourage you to get to a whole lot more, leaving that agency on Colombian, and then you go down through Colombian and you come back to the spot as well. So it's a nice, cool walk. You don't have to race. You go at your convenience and your leisure. But when you come back, you have an opportunity to cool down and spend time, one with the other, socializing, creating that environment where people with autism can thrive and they can get to know each other, understand each other, and children love to play with children. Allow them, but you just monitor as it goes as well. Spinny, I thank you as a father for stepping up to stay the course with your daughter. A lot other fathers might put them away. But you say, no, this is my Maya, Maya, that you love so much. And so you're going to be there every step of the way with her. There are some beautiful moments you'll have. There's some difficult ones as well. But every child presents that to every parent. There's nothing unique. But the uniqueness of your daughter is she is intelligent beyond words. And I want you to celebrate those moments when they show up.
Thank you. I will continue to do such.
Good man. Good man. And remember, wear your blue. Wear your blue on Fridays. Share your photo and your message of inclusion by tagging the Autism Association of Barbados, as you see on your screen. And of course, you can always support their fundraiser. But we want to encourage you to continue and get ready to register for the walk that's coming up on National Heroes Day, which is Tuesday coming, National Heroes Day. The walk starts at 6:30, so you have to be there before. Get your t-shirt. That t-shirt registration comes for a child and an adult. It comes with water and the shirt and your engagement indeed. Raise your awareness, Barbados. I'm telling you for a fact, autistic people are sweet and brilliant. And it's that brilliance that we truly celebrate indeed. And I want you to continue to do so. But you need to know more about understanding people with autism so that you have compassion for those with autism. Thank you again, Spinny.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome, buddy. Mornin Barbados is back. We are immersing in Colombian coffee and a whole lot more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world. Your playlist, your station, 98.1, The One.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados will love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted? Email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
This is where Barbadian football lives. Every Monday from 8:03 p.m., step onto the touchline. A 30-minute show featuring the BFA Premier League. Join Anmar Goodrich.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We have 13 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock. I'm about, and with you, immersing ourselves in what the country of beauty provides, and they're well known for coffee and cocoa. And so, as always, joined by Barbados and, Colombia's ambassador to Barbados. She feels Bajan to me now, indeed, my friend.
I do.
Yes, Elizabeth Taylor-Jay. Good morning to you again, ma'am.
Good morning, Mr. Bowen. Thank you so much for having us here again.
You are
so amazing.
so welcome, because the country of beauty is so fascinating.
I know.
The range of products and services that are offered in Colombia. And you've brought your friends along with you, because you're having a very immersive event coming up.
Yes, sure. So as part of our cultural action project, so we have this immersive activity with coffee and cocoa. Coffee and cocoa are very linked to our culture and tradition in Colombia. In fact, coffee, 23 of the 32 departments grows coffee, and cocoa, 28 of the 32 grows cocoa. So you can see that it's so close to our culture, tradition, spirituality. For instance, the Arhuaco Indians in the Sierra Nevada of the Santa Marta, they were one of the heart of cocoa in the ancient times, and they say that Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta is the heart of the world, of the art. Yeah, so it's just this connection between the art and people.
And I think for us, this broadens our appreciation for coffee generally and cocoa. We tend to go for certain blends and stay there. But because of the range of varieties that are grown in all of those other territories that you have in Colombia, it says that there's so much more we need to get to know about. And so this event coming up helps us to immerse ourselves in all of the different blends. So tell us who you've brought along with you, and what roles they're going to be playing at the event.
Okay, so Sebastian Martinez, he is a champion, a Colombian champion in brewing coffee, and he will soon go to the World Cup, and he comes from Circasia, Quindío, which is, of course, part of the coffee region, and he is one of the experts here in coffee. I am not, because I come from San Andres. We don't grow coffee there.
So talk to me a little bit about that, Sebastian. You're heading off to the World Championships in coffee. Give me the structure of those championships, just out of curiosity.
Well, to be more focused on this championship that is focused on brewing coffee, that are the coffee that is made by gravity. So in this championship, you have to do 3 simultaneously methods, and you have to give a speech of why you select those methods, why you select those coffee that you are bringing, that are usually the best of the best that we can grew in Colombia, not only by varieties, not only from the earth, but also the process, because Colombia is very, very famous in the whole world for the process that we put on the coffee after it is planted, after it is picked. Well, we do a lot of more process to increase its flavor. So this championship is to explain a concept and the process of the coffee. my work as a barista is to increase the consumption of a specialty coffee in the whole world. So I have to give a concept, and my concept, for example, in the world will be connection, the connection that we have from the earth, from the farms to the final customer, and my work as a barista to connect those two different worlds as the final customer and the farmer.
So the varieties, let's talk a little bit about that, because I've been telling people ahead of this event about this event, and so they're fascinated to know about the varieties of coffee and cocoa that you get from Colombia. What can you tell us?
Well, we have a lot of kind of varieties that in Colombia. I have to say thank you, I don't know, to the world, because we have a lot of climates in Colombia, a lot of altitudes in Colombia that led us to have a lot of kind of varieties, high altitude varieties, low altitude varieties, but also thanks to the National Federation of Coffee Growers in Colombia, because they are constantly developing new varieties to adapt to the new climate changes and altitudes that we have in Colombia. For example, one of my favorite varieties is the geisha variety. It wasn't born
geisha
variety. It wasn't born in Colombia. It was born in Africa, in like centuries ago. That's like one of my favorite varieties. But we have 100 more varieties.
I hear that you have so many different flavors to coffee as well, and so in this event we will be having an opportunity with you to taste the range of varieties that you have and the different ways that you blend, so that we get a sense of how we can do it ourselves as well, to immerse ourselves in your culture. Well done. And I'm watching the shoes of David. they're so clean and so beautiful. David is a chef. He's a chef, so it has to be clean.
Yes.
As a chef, but it's how we pair coffee with our food as well. And is that why David is here?
Entonces, ¿cómo hacemos la conjunción del café y el cacao con la comida?
Bueno, hay algo bien importante, y es que todos los procesos que llevan estos dos productos son procesos muy largos y que tienen, se puede decir, mucho trabajo. Para mí, personalmente, el café y el cacao son productos de maridaje, ¿sí?
So he says that, of course, these products are products that have a long-standing process. I mean, we heard from Sebastian Sebastian already about the growing of the coffee. So he says that for him, as a chef, it's like to making a marriage with like the food that you are going to eat with these products.
Está muy arraigado en nuestra cultura. Lo tomamos en la mañana, en media mañana o merienda, como se dice, a la hora del almuerzo, a la hora de la media tarde o a la hora de la noche, con diferentes tipos de combinaciones.
So, for instance, the coffee, I mean, we drink it
morning, noon, and
all
night.
the time. Yes, morning, noon, and night. We have like a break in the morning hours. We drink coffee. Lunch hours, we drink coffee. The break in the afternoon, we drink coffee, and also in the evening. So.
Por otra parte, hay algo muy importante, y es que dentro de las siembras del café y dentro de las siembras del cacao se siembran otros productos que hacen simbiosis con este producto. Muchas veces es la yuca, el maíz, la caña de azúcar. Esto hace que el café y el cacao tengan unos aportes importantes, y esos productos sirvan para la alimentación de la finca o del lugar donde se está sembrando y cosechando el café.
So what he says is that how we grow coffee in our country, we blend it with other crops, like bread kinds, like cassava and other products. So this is what make it so fantastic also, because it takes senses and aromas from other products. And I think something to add to that is we decided also to do coffee under shade and also combine it with other crops for adaptation to climate change, and also to protect the soil and having high quality products.
We can't wait to experience what you're doing, David. We really can't wait to experience at the event. I want to welcome you to Barbados again and thank you for the great work that you're doing.
Muchas gracias por tu trabajo.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now to the ladies, Carmen and Anna. Carmen, how long have you been, you're doing chocolates, right? How long have you been doing chocolates?
Carmen, tú trabajas con el chocolate. ¿Hace cuánto que has estado trabajando en esta iniciativa?
Bueno, con esta iniciativa tenemos ya 9 años, está trabajando con ella, pero en la realidad es algo tradicional de nuestros ancestros, nuestros padres, entonces nacimos con ese proceso y es desde que nacimos y crecemos, seguimos trabajando, pero ya asociado como organización, llevamos ya 9 años en el municipio haciendo este trabajo.
So she said they have 9 years as an organization working in their municipality with this product, but she said she would like to state that this is something that comes from their ancestors and that it's a traditional crop that they have been culturing from ancient time. Yes.
And so Anna, you know, working in this industry for as long as you've been working in this industry means a lot to you. You've seen your development, your growth over time. Tell me your story.
Él quiere que le cuentes tu historia, o sea, de estar trabajando en esta industria y, o sea, cuéntanos tu historia.
Pues nosotros empezamos desde 2017 como mujeres, un grupo de mujeres pequeñas. De ahí fuimos conquistando más mujeres para que hicieran parte de todo este proceso. Trabajamos, uno es el reconocimiento de las mujeres con el tema de nuestros derechos como mujeres y también el trabajo de este producto que es el cacao, que nos permite unificarnos como mujeres, que diario trabajamos para el crecimiento de nuestras familias, nuestro territorio, para brindar ese aporte económico a nuestros hogares y además de eso, el trabajo que sea valorado a nivel nacional e internacional, entonces el trabajo que hacemos nosotras las mujeres dentro de nuestra organización Afromubaras, que somos del Consejo Comunitario Rescate de las Varas del municipio de Tumaco, somos conformadas por 586 mujeres a nivel consejo y venimos trabajando todo el tema del cacao con sus diferentes derivados. No solamente hacemos chocolate de mesa, sino que también hacemos nib de cacao, torta de chocolate, cocadas con chocolate, cocadas con ni y una cantidad de derivados de este producto que es uno de los productos principales que hay dentro de nuestro territorio.
So she said that was a very long.
Yeah. The gist of it.
So she said that they started from 2017, a group of women leading this process and being like a driver for their families and try to really have this product as an asset. Led by women and of course championing in their community, and there are more than they belongs to a community council, which in Colombia the Afro descendants have territories that are assigned by title. And it's called community councils. They have self-governance, and during this self-governing process, they generate also their own economy. So Afromubaras, which is the organization that they belongs to now, it have more than 595 ladies that are linked to this initiative.
Wow, this is fantastic.
It's empowering the women in the territory, but showing also that they can help drive the economy.
There's such a story in this, and indeed we want to compliment each of you. So the immersive event is happening when?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Friday.
Yes, at the Horticultural Society from 5 p.m. At Balls Plantation from 5 p.m.
Right, so 5 o'clock. Is it open to everyone and anyone?
Well, we say open to everyone, of course.
We have to control stuff.
We have to, yes, but the idea is at least to have 150 people there attending the event.
So people who are into manufacturing, people who are into distribution, students of culinary arts as well. You're encouraged to be a part of all of this. General public, it's because it's so small, a number they're catering for. Not everyone can come, but surely over time you will see the products on your shelves. You get to understand better how the coffee is blended. You get to understand how you can pair coffee with the different foods, because David will show you the kinds of foods with which you can pair the coffee. You get to taste the different varieties, and our barista will help you understand all of that as well. But you get to understand the culture of the people and the women of Colombia who continue to show up and show out and give full support to industries that empower them. And those stories are unforgettable. So stories with which you'll engage, you will experience tomorrow, but you get to experience the taste, the flavor, the blends, the variety of cocoa and chocolate and coffee from Colombia tomorrow. Blaw's Plantation beginning at 5 in the afternoon, and you spend a couple of hours there having really what is truly an immersive experience not to be forgotten.
We're having also an Andean singer. She's arriving today.
Today she's coming in today.
Victoria Sur. Yes, and she will be performing, and I hope also she can sing something Bajan.
That's a challenge.
Yes, that's a challenge.
You know, we want to welcome you to Colombia, literally to Colombia, the country of beauty, tomorrow at the Blaw's Plantation. Everything cultural about Colombia you'll experience in it. It's one that's not to be missed, and one that shall not be forgotten as well. Ambassador, as always, so wonderful having you to introduce us to your culture, to your people, to your products, to your services, to the range of possibilities at Colombia. And you know, I'm already feeling Colombian. So let's get ready for this immersive activity tomorrow, everybody. Get there early as much as possible. If you are already registered, you're in. Is registration still open?
Yes, yes.
So how can we register again?
On our Instagram, call Barbados, call Embassy Barbados. You can
go there and you register.
You can do the registration. But just to add before we close, so on Saturday at the International Food Center, they will be leading a master class with chefs, like local chefs and people that go to the cooking schools here.
And David will shine at that point indeed. Thank you. Welcome again to Barbados, each of you, and thank you so very much for your contribution. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We're taking a break here, folks. We're back with more on Morning Barbados in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
This is where Barbadian football lives. Every Monday from 8:03 p.m., step onto the touchline. A 30-minute show featuring the BFA Premier League. Join Anmar Goodrich Boyce and Damien Best as they review the action. The goals, the grit, the glory, and the stories shaping the league. From kickoff to the final whistle, this is your front row seat to Monday Night Football. Touchline, bringing you closer to the BFA Premier League. See you on the touchline, live on TV8.
Touchline, sponsored by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after. And Powerade. Pause is power.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
In the news now, Prime Minister Motley is outlining a bold new vision for Barbados' tourism sector as the country prepares for a major luxury hotel development on the West Coast. Speaking during Pendry Barbados' topping off ceremony, she referred to the transformation of the sector as Tourism 3.0. Here's a report from Deanza Roberts.
Barbados is positioning itself for the next phase of tourism growth as the Pendry Barbados project moves closer to completion. At the topping off ceremony, Prime Minister Mayor Amo Motley described the development as part of a wider transformation of the industry.
It is now time to move again. And this I call Tourism 3.0. Tourism 3.0, in terms of the future development of this nation, is going to be absolutely pivotal and will reflect a balance between a judicious blend of indigenous ownership as well as branded opportunities that allow us to be able to have the additional marketing spend that will make it easier for people to come here and enjoy and know what we know all the time, that really there is no better place to be on earth than Barbados.
She says during this new term, the government will be focused on not just creating opportunities, but also on renewing the tourism product.
Our purpose will continue to, 1, stop poor people from being poor, 2, fight injustice, and 3, create opportunities for people. This is what this investment is about for us as a nation. It is an opportunity for us to renew our tourism product. It is an opportunity for us to find new Alan Firstons who come here at 40 years ago to get away from 2-year-old and 3-year-old children who are making noise.
The Prime Minister also revealed plans to expand airlift, including potential direct flights from the U.S. West Coast.
We believe that the time has come, therefore, Minister, for you to set on your task again and to open up now direct flights between Los Angeles and Barbados. And in that regard, we believe that you have excellent allies in the form of the Montage and Pendry Group to make this new market real for us. And let us get real. If we open up that West Coast, we're opening up not just Los Angeles, we're opening up San Francisco and Silicon Valley, we're opening up Vancouver, we're opening up Seattle, we're opening up all of that western U.S. corridor, and that will give our tourism, a new lease on life.
She stressed that developments like Pendry must also benefit local communities, as she called on the owners to utilize local products, local talent, and local food at the establishment. The Pendry Barbados project is expected to open in 2027. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
40 years without the possibility of parole is a harsh sentence a group of church leaders wants for criminals using guns to commit murder and other heinous crimes. It's one of the several measures the National Network of Pastors is suggesting to help deter people from getting involved in gun-related crime, which is reaping its ugly head across the island. Members of the network held a press conference to discuss the vexing issue as well as to announce plans for a specially unified service of praise to be held in Golden Square Freedom Park this evening at 6:30. Apostle David Durand of Restoration Ministries says the 40 years sentence without parole will replace the death penalty.
That's like a life sentence. And if a young man, 17, 18, 19-year-old, he's stupid enough to go and do that, knowing what the penalty is, he got 40 years up there. I think it will help to cause him to think twice, rather than go and get a 10-year and it's not 12 months. It's according to the prison term. They're out again, right? And have a badge. Because you got it, you got a badge. That's the kind of mentality, right? So I think stiffer penalties, straight. No two ways about it, right? You are found with an illegal gun, 10 to 15 years.
Residents of some parts of Christchurch will soon have new roads. It comes as the Ministry of Transport and Works continues to effect road repairs across the island. One of the areas is Wilcox Hill to Ferry Valley, where Deputy Chief Technical Officer of Projects Dave Scanterbury says they've already had a design in hand from the Professional Engineering Services Limited, who are looking at the retaining wall on Wilcox Hill, and he assures that the road is not going to fail anytime soon.
But we also are cognizant that this area is a flood area. We finished a flood design for the area, and therefore we're going to incorporate that information into the road design so that while we work on the road, we're also dealing with the wider flooding problems we have in the area. The Parish Land Road, we're looking for a design from Parish Land to Ferry Valley, as well as we are looking at a relocation of that road. So we're working with the utility companies as well as the Ministry of Housing on that.
Mr. Scanterbury says a concrete road will be constructed at the bottom of Wilcox Hill, heading east to the turntable.
Chancery Lanes Road has been bad for a very long time. And the plan is, given the heavy traffic that's on it, we're looking to use concrete road. The NECL is looking to do natural gas on that road, as well as we also need to upgrade the water mains on that road as well. You would see as you pass through that we have the pegs down, we know exactly where we want to put the road. But we have utility delays at this point in time.
To sports now, it was a much better display in batting for the Barbados Pride in their second round West Indies Championship match with Jamaica Scorpions, but they had to settle for a draw. Playing at Sabina Park in yesterday's fourth and final day, resuming on 456 for 5 in their first innings, replying to Scorpions 457, the Pride declared on 626 for 8. Kyle Mears scored 84, Johan Lane was left unbeaten on 43, and this after skipper Craig Brathwaite led with 176 and Kevin Wickham 105. The Scorpions then managed to reach stumps on 90 for 4 in their second innings. Both teams will be back in action again on Sunday. That's a look at news and sports. Now, more news and sports coming up at noon on TV8. Morning Barbados is right back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station. 98.1 The One.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
بس أكون على البحر في كوبا بتذكر بحر غزة. أنا عشت بغزة 3 حروب. كل حرب أو تصعيد كنت أخسر حدا مهم، إذا ما كان من أهلي بكون قريب أو صديق. بتذكر بس قصفوا قريب من بيتنا وشردنا على الشارع، كان عمري 10 سنين. الفكرة مش بالبيوت أو المباني، لا الفكرة إنهم بدمروا ذكرياتنا وقصصنا اللي صارت بهاي المباني. بدي أرجع غزة لأساعد مجتمعي وأهلي في حربهم ضد الاحتلال وأنقذ حياة ناس أكتر. حابب أعمل تخصص جراحة قلب أو جراحة عظام، حتى يكون عندي إشي قوي أقدر أقدمه لشعبي والمصابين في هاي الحروب. إحنا موجودين هون لنرجع للوطن كأطباء ونساعد شعبنا، لأنه إحنا عندنا نقص بالموارد، حتى بعدد الأطباء عندنا نقص.
أكيد أنت لا معنا، أكيد أنت لا معنا. فلسطين soberana, Palestina soberana. ¡Viva Palestina libre! ¡Viva! ¡Viva el pueblo cubano! ¡Viva!
We just took you literally into the belly of the beast. That's just a portion of a film on the film night that you will get to engage with, because as people, we feel for people. And we feel for people who we don't know and the people who we don't know as well. And so the Caribbean Against Apartheid in Palestine joins us now to talk about an upcoming evening where we can all sit together, whether on the grass, in our chairs, lie on our blankets, to engage in education. That's what I think it's all about. And so joining me to talk a little bit more about this is Dr. Ariana Marshall and Lalo Hanneman. Both of you, good morning. Good morning, sir. We as a world have become so desensitized now to the atrocities met by our brothers and sisters around the world. Your organization exists to remind us of why it's important we pay attention. Let's talk a little bit about that, Ariana, for just a moment. What is it that you think that we're not quite getting right as it relates to people around the world and how they're being treated?
Well, I think that sometimes the way that news is communicated is shared in a way where we should just be concerned because it's something at a distance and out of like a connection between our humanity. But then when you really look at what your experience is in Barbados, you know, what our experiences are as Black people around the world, is these kinds of conversations we realize that we're really not that much different, right? We have much more in common. I think what made me miss as well is that fundamentally when we look at Palestine, we look at Cuba, it's about having solidarity with countries being able to do what they choose to do and people being able to do what they choose to do, sovereignty. So when I'm talking with my students, I tell them, imagine somebody coming into your garden and your farm where you have grown and telling you that you can't do what you want to do. And very practically in Palestine, the issue with water. Imagine rain falling from the sky and you being told you cannot catch your own rainwater. So I think what may be missed sometimes is these kinds of conversations. You see it as the news rather than like this is related to our ability to be sovereign ourselves.
And a lot of it is the humanity or the lack thereof, the fact that there are people who are impacted by all of this. And so I know, Lalo, you've been talking about this for so long now. Do you get the sense that we're getting it, that more and more people are understanding that this, but for the grace of God, could be happening to us too?
Absolutely. It's just an accident that some of us have ended up in Barbados. We could have been anywhere in any other part of the world. As you know, we didn't come here by choice generally. And yes, certainly, it's important, as my sister said, to have this sense of solidarity with people suffering in other parts of the world in reality.
Mm-hmm. And so this film night is in association with the Embassy of Cuba in Barbados. And I know that we've just realized the blockade has tightened even more so on the people of Cuba, and there are people who are not even having basics, whether it's electricity. We take electricity as such a basic provision now that, you know, when it's missing, we scream for just half an hour. Imagine days on end without the electricity, not being able to do the basic things like surgeries and everything else. That's a reality that we can't ignore. And so you're working with the Cuban embassy to bring that reality to us as well in the film night. Tell me a little bit more about the film night.
Well, it's at 6:30 p.m. on this Saturday.
This Saturday.
The 25th of April. Mm-hmm. It's at the Cuban embassy, which is at 13 Edge Hill Heights in St. Thomas, and the Cuban ambassador is facilitating it. It's a joint night where we show both Cuban and Palestinian films, solidarity films. It's totally free. We are asking people to bring their own chairs. That's the only thing they need to bring because we don't have enough chairs. But other than that, feel free, come along, bring food if you wish, bring a friend, and enjoy the evening. There'll be some speeches as well, as you would expect, but the focus is on the films and solidarity with both Cuba and Palestine.
2 films?
A series of films.
All right, good. Yeah. So we know From Gaza to Cuba is one of the films. The Belly of the Beast is one of those that we're going into. The Present is another film. And so you're looking at your screen and you're seeing some of the films that are going to be impactful. The conversation following the films, I think, is also going to be equally impactful because it helps you to understand context and to have a greater appreciation for realities at the same time. And so we want to encourage all of you, whether you're a student of history, you're just a human being with a heart that beats for other people as well. This is for you. Don't sit aside and think, oh, that would never happen to us. It's happening right there in Cuba. Right there. Cuba is literally right there. Palestine is, I know you've told the story of Gaza, Lalu, so many times. That it's a strip of land, so tiny, but so powerful, and how people are being crushed for being who they are. Same thing happening in Cuba for your systems of life. And if somebody else of might is saying, your system is wrong, what makes their system right? And so we want to be able to have a conversation around that while we watch the film as well.
Absolutely. There are lots of similarities between Gaza and Barbados in terms of size. Gaza is 140 square miles, Barbados is 169 square miles. And they've been bombed to smithereens. They have a population of 2.5 million. If we juxtapose that with Barbados, imagine if that was happening to us. You mentioned the lack of electricity in Cuba, but obviously the same thing applies also in Gaza. The lack of water in both places, because electricity is important for pumping water. I live in Dover here in Christchurch. For the last 12 hours or more, we've been without water. And it's amazing how it undermines your very existence. And also added to which, obviously, there's issue of food issues, not being able to get access to food, the weaponization of food, the weaponization of medication, all these things. And so there's lots of similarities between both Palestine and Cuba currently.
And so these films will bring that reality starkly to us indeed. And we take a lot of things for granted, Dr. Ariana. We take so much for granted. And I know that that's going to be a part of the messaging as well, as your group also, your movement also seeks to do.
Yes, yes. And I will say now, talking about the similarities between Cuba and Barbados, we may see Cuba as a faraway island. It's actually the largest Caribbean island, right? And Cuba, because of the embargo and the blockade, has been dealing with how to transition to renewable energy, so making it decentralized. And when you look at the threats that they're facing, it's a threat to that sovereignty. What they're doing it out of necessity. I think we have to shift renewable energy as seeing it like a feel-good kind of whoever can afford it situation, whereby in Cuba what they have done is to make sure that renewable energy and really all their energy is not just for the people who can afford it, but for everyone. So essentially that is what is also being threatened. I was introduced to Cuba when I was studying and working in sustainable agriculture. So understanding that sustainable agriculture is nothing new, right? And also they have the most experience, I think, having to do it under dire conditions. And what I think struck me is just the spirit of people in doing that, you know? So I think also shifting our idea of agriculture as like this tedious, you know, kind of rough situation, when it's like a chance to really to be sovereign, to be ourselves, and to not have, I think, the move is towards what we call ecological sovereignty as an island. We learned that from Cuba, right? There's food sovereignty, and then we go on to energy sovereignty. So no one should be able to tell you where you should get your essentials from. If you have to get your essentials, you have to get it, right? So I think even if you're not really seeing the connection between Cuba and here, if you've never been, if you are about growing your own food, if you're about food sovereignty, right? If you don't like somebody coming into your country and telling you what to do, right? You need to come to this night. I think that's where like the connections are gonna come, the solidarity messages, and kind of realizing like, yeah, this is what we really about.
Stripping a man of his own sovereignty is so dehumanizing. And I know laws are written by men and women, and the people help to shape those laws as well. And so I know part of the mission of the Caribbean against apartheid in Palestine helps to empower the people to press upon the other people to create the environment and to create the laws that will respond to what they need. And so that pressure movement comes from knowledge. And so this film helps us to be able to connect once again with realities, the truth as told by the people through the films. And it happens at the Embassy of Cuba in Edge Hill Heights, St. Thomas. It starts at 6:30 in the evening. You are invited. It's this Saturday, featuring short inspirational films of solidarity messaging. And then afterwards, you have an opportunity to open discussion on what you just engaged with and get some perspectives from others who will share in those discussions as well. Bring your blankets, bring your chairs, bring your friends, bring your basket, bring you, and show up for this film night. Indeed, it's really going to be inspirational indeed. I don't want you to miss it. I really don't want you to miss it. So I encourage you to really show up and be a part of it. Knowledge empowers. Knowledge also holds you accountable. And so I encourage you to be a part of it. So I want to thank you, Dr. Marshall. Thank you, Lalu, as always, for keeping this on the forefront. Keeping this on the forefront. These are our brothers and sisters, not by birth, but by nature. They're part of God's creation, just as we are. And so the things that we don't want done to us, we should also not want happen to other people, known as Cubans, Palestinians, people. It's as simple as that. The film night will help you understand that in a deeper context. Thank you again. Wish you well.
Appreciate it.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome.
All the
You're
best.
welcome. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're back in a moment.
Listen, Town.
I need toilet paper, lemons. What we have here?
Security chief, move now!
أحلى بلد في فلسطين.
ماما
What do you want? Hey! We have a system here.
My house is just there. طيب بابا طيب ولا شيء مش مشكلة بتنحل يلا نمشي.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
This is where Barbadian football lives. Every Monday from 8:03 p.m., step onto the touchline. A 30-minute show featuring the BFA Premier League. Join Anmar Goodrich Boyce and Damian Best as they review the action, the goals, the grit, the glory, and the stories shaping the league. From kickoff to the final whistle, this is your front row seat to Monday Night Football. Touchline, bringing you closer to the BFA Premier League. See you on the touchline, live on TV8.
Touchline, sponsored by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after. And Powerade. Pause is power.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station. 98.1 The One.
Books open nourishing your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented.
It's 7:30, and these three young ladies who I will introduce you to at the moment are in business, and they mean business because they're making successes of themselves and growing their business to provide us with a product and a service that we need. And so joining me this morning, who are all finalists of the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation's $20 Challenge, doing a lot with a little, from Queen's College is Ayobami Leon Barker. Good morning, Ayobi. Listen, what to call you?
Ayobami. You could just say Ayo.
Ayo is fine with you?
Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you so very much. From the Christchurch Foundation School is Kenya Stout. Kenya, good morning.
Good morning.
And from St. George Secondary School, we have Abigail Ben. Abby, good morning to you as well.
Good morning to you.
So we have Ayo and Abby. All right. So Ayo, talk to me a little bit about your decision to take up the $20 challenge. Why did you do that?
I've always been into fitness. I used to swim, and then after I stopped swimming, I started the gym, and I used to always make my own protein shakes. So when I transferred to Queen's College, my friends would try them, and they encouraged me to start business because they really liked them. And then $20 challenge came up, and I thought it was a perfect opportunity.
It's a business challenge, so therefore you had to put on your business head.
Yeah.
But your business head started with a loan from the BEF, the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation, of $20.
Yeah.
And you said to yourself, well, that is nothing, right?
It
didn't say that.
It was nothing. It was, no.
It meant a lot. It was a good start. Did you take the loan, by the way?
No, I actually
You chose
didn't.
not to do so.
I never received it, so.
Okay, you never followed through on it, but it was open to you. So how did you get this to grow? Because, I mean, what you do as a love, as just making protein shakes for health reasons and everything else, is just what you do, that. But you had to make a business out of it. So
Yeah.
how did you grow the business?
I try different marketing techniques to make my product seem more innovative and make the videos I make interactive so that people would be more interested in what I do. And for my page, I started selling at Queen's College, so I will always walk around every lunchtime, hey, do you want a shake? So I was just bombarding them all the time. And in terms of outside of school, my main source of promotion was Instagram. And I feel like the videos that I made, because they were interactive and they were talking about my product, I think that helped my business to grow a lot.
So and we're saying your pictures on the screen for just a moment. Your colleagues at school were not just your testers, they were actually your first set of customers?
Yes, please, they were.
And how receptive were they to that?
I realized a lot of persons like the protein shakes, but I made protein shakes and I also made regular shakes to accommodate people at school. But I realized the regular shakes, which were strawberry, well, only strawberry at the time, mostly the juniors were the only people that would mostly buy them, but the seniors really like the protein shakes more. Yeah.
So at the moment, do you have just two varieties, the protein shake and the strawberry, or have you broadened the range?
In terms of protein shakes, I have 5 flavors, and regular shakes, I have 2 flavors. So I have strawberry. It's called Strawberry Blast. It's Strawberry Blast. And then I have Banana Berry Booster for the regular shakes, and for the protein shakes, it's Banana Boost, Granola Boost, Banana Granola Blends, Cocoa Blends, and Peanut Power.
Is there science to all of this? In terms of the quantity of the ratio of how much of this and how much of that, or that kind of thing to blend? Or did you,
honestly, because I've always been making it for myself, I just incorporated that into making it for other people. I tried different. The only thing that I did differently was expand the flavors, but the base of all of the protein shakes is the same, so it wasn't that difficult.
You would have had workshops with the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation to help you along the way. Were those workshops beneficial, and in what ways were they? That sounds like a no.
No, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that.
What do you want
I'm
to
trying
say?
to think of the... Oh, I went to the Girlfriend Expo workshop. that was probably one of the only ones I went to, but that was very beneficial in terms of how to promote myself for the Girlfriends Expo. Like, it inspired me to want to stand out at the expo. It inspired me to get the things that I got for the expo in terms of my backdrop and how I set up my table. I made sure that it was very eye-catching, and I was at the front of the expo. And also in terms of marketing, going up to the expo, it told me how to do that. So that was very beneficial.
So having marketed then, you saw responses. You saw numbers begin to grow, and the pressure was now on you, Ayo, to create enough product to respond to the need. In terms of setting up your business in that way that you're able to respond to that need, what did it take for you to do? You had a blender.
Yeah.
Right, a blender, blah, 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 you make a shake, bottle it, and so, but I call it that. And then you had to bottle it, label it, and all of those kinds of things, and get help to help you do that. Did you have to do all of that?
In terms of the blenders, I had a lot of blenders, a lot burned out because of how many shapes I had to make. In terms of the bottling, my mom would mostly help with the washing of bottles, but in terms of everything else, I just had to adjust. I just had to do it, you know? Especially coming up to Girlfriends Expo, it was a lot. I was in the kitchen for 12 hours straight one day just making so many shakes. But I feel like it's rewarding though. So I don't feel bad doing it. I like the outcome, and I like the feedback that I get. I like people saying that they like my product. That is honestly what inspires me.
Nice. Who's your finance manager?
My finance manager?
Yeah. Who kept track of your money?
Me.
You did everything yourself?
I tried. I tried, yeah.
So would you think to expand to include other people to help you balance, you know, everything that's happening now?
In the future, I plan to do that, but I feel like demand will need to grow for me to do that because I don't have to pay them. So I just
you don't want to pay them.
I want to pay them when I'm able to like support everything.
Did you give back anything to any?
Yes.
What did you do?
I donated to Hope for Children organization. That's a charity, so they help children that are less fortunate, and I thought that it would be nice to give back because I feel like I have the opportunities that I have today because of my upbringing, and I believe that just because someone else didn't grow up that same way, that they shouldn't be disadvantaged in terms of their opportunities. So I thought that was a good charity to donate to.
Kenny, I ain't forget you. Talk to me about your decision to enter this challenge.
So if I was being honest with you, I really only heard about it from my friends because they wanted to join it.
Yes.
And I was like, well, I already planned to make a business because I really and truly wanted money, but I wanted to do it in a way that I would be passionate about it. So I did all natural body butters and lip butters. And they told me, they were saying, oh, Miss Yard has this, is talking about this challenge. And I was just like, let me join it. And only 2 of us end up doing it. Out of 5, only 2 of us ended up doing it. So that was mainly the whole reason I did it.
How have you grown as a young businesswoman now? Because I met you before and I met your product before. I still have one of the containers on my desk upstairs. So how have you grown in business since you started the challenge?
So I would say I grow by how I produce my product and the change in my recipe, because it was a different recipe before, but now I've changed it so that I adapted it so that it could be smoother and better. And I think what was the biggest change for me was marketing. I wasn't the best at marketing. I can admit that, but now I've gotten better. I've started posting on my Instagram more. I've started interacting with persons more. I've started to do more interviews and stuff like that. And I think that was the biggest change that happened for my business, was my marketing.
Sometimes when you operate business, you have to stop for a moment and make a decision to include other people to help you do everything you want to do. Have you given that kind of consideration to how you want to further your business?
I was thinking, when I was thinking about expanding to more people, I was thinking, why not do collaborations with persons who have the same like moral compass as me in a way. So like, I would probably, she'd be on my collab list because she's focusing on building your body, making it look good with using protein shakes. And I focus on making your body look good with body butters. Right. So we could like do like a package and stuff like that. So I think mostly collaborations with persons.
It's just, you have an agreement right here, sewn up right here on Morning Barbados. But sometimes in business, you have to say, you know what, I can't do it all myself. I need to have other people help me so I can focus on product design and whatever else and implementation. They will focus on marketing and the like. And so you have to broaden your staff.
Yes.
Do you think you will get to that point, or are you concerned for how much it will cost you to do so?
Well, I want to get to that point because I have a business. I have an idea for where I want my business to go in the far future. But currently, right now, is my mom and my dad and my teacher helping me.
That's fine. So you have the help.
Because they're able to do it for free. So
I was just going to ask you about that.
That's my benefit.
So you don't have any compensation package for them?
Well, well, they love me enough to do it for free. So.
All right, it's business here. It is business, and so you must be able to. Have you considered the legality of what you're doing, though, in terms of trademarking or copywriting your processes and so forth?
So to avoid like the copyright and all of that, I decided to use my name. So instead of just having Coco, I decided to use my name as a trademark. So I say Coco by Kenya as my official business. So that when I hopefully branch out into like hopefully my hair products, because that's what I plan to do, I could be something along the lines with Hair by Kenya, and my name is the trademark. My name is what gives it the identity.
Fantastic. Registration is going to be critical, so speak to someone to guide you on that, all right?
Yes.
All right, so Abby, you are with St. George Secondary School. I know that you guys have formed something that looks at chicken, a farm, right?
Yes, please.
How many people are part of the business?
3 at this moment.
The 3 of you?
Yes.
2 males and you?
Yes.
And what is that your business about?
Basically poultry, chicken rearing.
Chicken rearing?
Yes, please.
So chicken rearing now is a little different. You don't do your chicken rearing in your kitchen or in your bedroom. You have to do this now on a plot of land and all of those kinds of things. In the design of the business, did you factor in all of those other things as you determine what it is you want to do?
Yes, the farm manager, Tisha, yes, he was basically on that for us.
So how do those team meetings go?
Team meetings go great.
So there's no argument?
No, not really.
So who decides the one decision? How do you come up to that one thing that we have all agreed we shall do? There must be contention.
So our Miss Lucas, our advisor and teacher, she was like, she gave us a plan. It's either we do it and we stick to it. So yeah.
So far, how is it going, the business?
It's going good. There's some starter chicken that needs to be slaughtered on the 26th and 27th. So that's coming up soon. So it's going good.
Have you guys employed people to do the slaughtering and the bagging and the cleaning and everything else, or are you all doing it yourselves?
I think we're all doing it by ourselves, by the way. Yeah, we're all doing it.
How do you get about responding to demand? How do people know about your service?
So how do people know about our service is through the digital flyer that people post on their WhatsApp statuses, Facebook and Instagram, and word of mouth through teachers, friends, and family.
And so far, what's the response been like?
Good. Good.
You're very happy with it? You're seeing the returns?
Yes.
But
the feedback was lovely.
Is there discussion about putting all of your revenue back into the business, or are you saying a portion goes to paying each of us for our labor and profit is then split in some way? How?
It goes to, profit is split in, for me, Jaden, and Tashay, profit is split.
Right. Have you given anything back to our community or charitable organizations?
Yes, we have given back to It Takes a Village charity and also our school agriculture program, a chicken feeder. We have donated a chicken feeder.
How do you now feel about business? You're a businesswoman now. You're not just a schoolgirl alone, you're a businesswoman. Is this something that you really want to stick with, or is this just for the moment that you're doing this?
In business-wise, my mother, she's an entrepreneur herself, a very wise one and a strong woman at that. So in terms of business, of course I'm going to do it again because I have my mother backing me and I could do anything I put my mind to. So yeah.
That's it. That's the whole point. I see Kenya smiling, Kenya, because you like what she just said, right?
Yes.
I can do anything I put my mind to. Are you intending to stay in business as Kenya the businesswoman?
Yes, because I would like to make Cocoa by Kenya, a charitable organization in the future.
Okay.
Because I plan to be a neurosurgeon when I become older. So.
And Io, what about you?
In
You
terms
plan
of
to stay in business? Or is this just a moment of time for you?
I think that staying in business would be good. I would like to have my products in like fitness-oriented places, like gyms. But in terms of like expanding, that would probably be in the future, because I have to think about a lot of things. Andy said a lot of things before that.
I want to hear about those lot of things. We'll take a break. We'll come right back with more with these three young business women in just a moment.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
We're talking to three young businesswomen in the BEF, the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation's $20 challenge. They are already so successful. But you know, part of that success means they have to do a lot of balancing because they're still students. Queen's College, Christchurch Foundation, and St. George Secondary School. And so, I know you were saying to me, you have to give consideration as you prepare to further your business about how you balance your time. Why do you say that?
Because Cape and everything, it was a lot balancing. At first, when I first started selling, I was selling every day of the week. So every day after school, I had to come home and make shakes, and it was so time consuming. So then I lowered it down to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then I went to Monday, and then Friday, and then orders, because balancing schoolwork is a lot with the business, and coming up to exams especially, I have to prioritize my schoolwork.
Yeah, you do. I'm sure mommy's on you for that, right? Girl, you got to do your exams. Those shits can wait as well. But have you given consideration in your business planning about the electricity you're using, the water you're using, and the cost to all of those kinds of things, other than simply the products that you're using in the creation of your shakes?
I have given consideration to electricity and water. But in all honesty, because my mommy's pay the bills, it's not something that's at the forefront of my mind right now.
I know, because you're at home, and so the parents will do the bills. But if you documented those costs, you get a true sense of what your overall business costs are, because it also includes those other things. In determining the price point for each of your products, whether it's the shake or whether it's the basic protein shake or the other flavored protein shakes, how did you go about determining at what price you would sell them for?
First, I had to calculate the price of every product, and then add it up to see the cost of that one shake. So I did that for each one, and then I just chose a profit that will be beneficial to me, that I can still buy back and still pay myself. Yeah.
Have you had any coaching from any other business people, or discussions with business people who are already in the business of doing what you do, to help you begin to think of how you differentiate yourself from what other people are doing? That's a no.
I went to an entrepreneurship workshop last year, but she was selling, I think, snow cones, and she was speaking about labels and how to track your finances, and that helped me. But I wouldn't say she's doing the same thing as me exactly in terms of protein shakes directly, but yeah.
You got the idea.
I did.
Dealing with the snow cone lady. All right. Kenny, what about you? I know your head is in business, has been in business for so long. Talk to me a little bit about the inputs and you're making sure you track your general expenses so that you have an idea as to just how really are you performing as a business.
So I mainly get help from my mother because she works in finances.
Oh.
So she knows she says she knows how to put stuff in certain places, and so does my dad too, because now he's more into finances as well. So they'll basically have us sit down and they'll be like, this is how you put it out, this is how you make your spreadsheet, this is how you know how much money you should be spending on products. So if I be like, okay, so on Saturday I have this much money, I can send my mother while I'm at lessons to go out and pick up the ingredients that I need. And I can basically track it on my phone or on my laptop, and I'll just input it, and she will come and check. She'll be like, okay, so you gotta do this instead. I will make the changes, and I'll have all my finances all tracked.
And in terms of I've done the shopping for the inputs, because product A could cost X at this place, or it could cost X plus at the other place as well.
Yes.
Where do you find the time to do all of that?
So I don't really have a lot of time, I would say that, but I would say the most time I have is on a Saturday right before I go to dance. So basically we make our runs through town, and then sometimes if we have to go somewhere else, we just make a quick detour and then go right back and it'll be at dance. And then we'll just store them in the car and make sure that the AC is on most of the time.
So that you do have good product.
Yes.
As well. And so that's how you generally operate your business.
Yes, I make sure I plan that I can at least do it every 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from now, I'll probably go to town and buy more.
And do it again. Yeah. Abby, what about you in terms of the balance? Because you're still in school, you have your schoolwork to do, but the farm and the entrepreneurship is pulling so hard at you. So how do you balance time and the focus on the business at the same time?
For me, I'm a public relations officer at King's Farm, so that wouldn't be my thing. It would be Jaden's and Tashay's thing to deal with, but I help in the way that I can. Yeah.
How did you get involved in it? I can see the two boys as farmers, but how did you get involved in this? Did they invite you in, or were you the one with the idea and invited them in?
I went in. So for me, I wanted to start my own business. It would have been called GT Treats, Guyanese Treats, because I'm a Guyanese. So I didn't get to start off my business how I wanted to. So Ms. Lucas invited me to pull my resources with them. So that's how I got into King's Farm.
What does that teach you?
To be prepared next time.
To do yours, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you could also pool resources and also be as successful until such time that you're able to do yours at the same time. And that's the whole point, I think, as part of this initiative with the Barbados Entrepreneurship Foundation. Sometimes you don't do it alone. You just heard Kenya and Ayo talk about pooling together and working ways together.
Yeah.
And so now you have the three of you running King's Farm, which is chickens.
Yes.
In terms of diversifying the number of products that you're doing other than chicken alone, some goat could help because I love curried goat. You know, have you looked at that? Have you? She's laughing at me. Have you considered that?
Okay, I wouldn't know. The farm manager, Tishay, would consider if he's gonna branch out in other products if he wants.
Do you all have meetings, team meetings as well?
Yeah, we do.
And share ideas and discuss exactly what we all agree to do?
Yeah. You would say that.
You would say that. But Tishay generally takes the lead where that is concerned.
Yes, because he's a farm manager.
In terms of, I know chicken is easy to sell in Barbados. Barbados love chicken. All the parts of chicken. But there are also people out there who want some other specialty meats at the same time. Is that something that you think the team would want to discover and to explore?
As you can remember, poultry is a very hard business to run, and it takes a lot of time and money. So you have to get the funds to actually push it out.
You've answered my question perfectly. You're so right. But poultry in itself is open to all of the other vagaries, whether it's disease, weather conditions, all of those kinds of things.
True.
have you all sat down with even with your advisor to look at that and the things that could threaten your business in two tools and can decimate your business?
Yeah, we did look at that, but Tashay made sure that things were in place to make sure that didn't happen. We only had like 2 or 3 losses of chicken due to something happened to them, but other than that, we good. We're good.
I like that, but you have such faith and trust in Tashay. So you hear the name all the time, right? Tashay is really quite a powerful force within the organization there, right? That's all right. That's okay. It's okay because it's the 3 of you working together, and one must have a strength that you can rely on, and that's okay to do at the same time, but that requires trust and relationship as well, which is fantastic. So Ayo, for those watching who want to be able to say, I want to taste her shakes, I want to buy her shakes because it sounds like something. People online are saying, I really love listening to these 3 young ladies and their young business minds. That's one of our viewers in New York who's watching right now. And so you have, Marcia said, these young ladies are so business savvy, and I love it. That's what people are saying about you now. So because there are people all over the world now who know your product, not just in the way you market as well, tell them how to find you so that online, so that they can begin to have discussions with you, either to receive your products for later sale or to at least buy it themselves.
You can reach me by Segu Blends on Instagram right now.
Spell that word for them.
SEGU Blends. BLEND.
It's as simple as Segu Blends at Instagram and online. So just look for it. Look at the screen. Look at your screen. You see it right there. You can always look back at the show later on if you missed it. Segu Blends on Instagram, and reach out to Ayobami, and Ayobami will be able to put you in line with her range of products, and perhaps you can have them in your retail outlet at the same time as well, because it's another offering. She has a range of sweet ones as well, which is quite good on the palates of some other ones, but they're all fitness blended. And so what about you, Kenya, in terms of your, I see it there, Coco by Kenya, right?
Yes, on my shirt.
It's on the shirt. You wear your brand.
Yes, of course.
And Coco is K-O-C-O. K-O-C-O. Look at your screen again. On Insta, it's Coco by Kenya. And of course, you know, it's Coco by Kenya is your overall business name. You'll have probably da-da-da by Kenya and so on and so forth, which is fantastic. And what about yours?
So at the moment, we don't have a Instagram platform, but if you guys are interested, you could meet us at St. George. I kind of forgot Miss Lucas's number,
That's
so
right.
I wouldn't say.
That's right. So come to the school.
Yes, come to the school.
Ask for
Miss Lucas.
Miss Lucas, who is your advisor, will guide people accordingly. So folks in the St. George Secondary School area, St. George General or Barbados, if you're looking for some freshly grown chicken, then come to St. George Secondary School, ask for Miss Lucas, and place your order. You go by orders, right?
Yes, please.
You don't just show up. You don't have the
go by
cooler
orders.
to keep the freezer. So check Miss Lucas, place your order, and the team will be happy to respond to that as well. So for those of you in hunt of chicken, fresh chicken, check out the farm. What's the name of the business?
King's Farm.
King's Farm. They're the lions, but King's Farm indeed are doing so. We have Coco by Kenya, and we have Segu Blends as well. Again, congratulations, young ladies. Congratulations. You seem to have the right headspace, and you're doing it so well. Well done.
Thank you.
To each of you.
Thank
All
you.
right? You're welcome. We're breaking, folks. We're back in a moment.
This is where Barbadian football lives. Every Monday from 8:03 p.m., step onto the touchline. A 30-minute show featuring the BFA Premier League. Join Anmar Goodrich Boyce and Damian Best as they review the action. The goals, the grit, the glory, and the stories shaping the league. From kickoff to the final whistle, this is your front row seat to Monday Night Football. Touchline, bringing you closer to the BFA Premier League. See you on the touchline, live on TV8.
Touchline, sponsored by Dasani. Live first, Dasani after. And Powerade. Pause is power.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good, your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station. 98.1 The One.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
This has truly been a terrific Thursday. My little Gru joins me in saying to all of you, thank you for joining us. We wish you well today. Be it the will of the Lord, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.